The conflict between the United States and Iran is not a sudden or simple story. It is a long and complex history. It is shaped by decades of mistrust, political decisions, and struggles for power. This tension develops slowly over time. To truly understand why these two countries became enemies, we must go back to the mid-20th century, where the roots first began. In the early 1900s, the United States and Iran were not enemies. In fact, their relationship was relatively friendly. Iran was an important nation because of its vast oil reserves and its strategic location in the Middle East. For a time, both countries benefited from cooperation. However, everything began to change in 1953, leaving a lasting impact. At that time, Iran had a democratically elected leader named Mohammad Mossadegh. He decided to nationalize Iran's oil industry. This decision was popular among the Iranian people, but it created serious concern in Western countries. The US and Britain feared losing access to oil and worried political instability might push Iran toward the Soviet Union. Because of these concerns, the US and Britain supported a coup. In Mossadegh's place, the Shah of Iran was restored to authority. The Shah ruled Iran with strong US support. While this benefited the US economically, many Iranians saw it differently. They believed their democracy had been taken away and replaced with a ruler who served foreign interests, creating deep resentment. Over the next 2 decades, dissatisfaction with the Shah continued to grow. His rule was often seen as authoritarian. By the late 1970s, this growing frustration turned into widespread protests. Millions of Iranians took to the streets, demanding change. This movement led to the Iranian Revolution in 1979. The Shah was forced to leave, and a new Islamic government came into power. The new leadership rejected Western influence. Almost overnight, the relationship between the two nations changed from cooperation to hostility. Later that same year, a major crisis occurred. A group of Iranian students took over the US embassy in Tehran. The hostage crisis lasted for 444 days and became a major global event, causing a shocking and humiliating moment for Americans. After this event, diplomatic relations were completely cut off. Trust disappeared, and the conflict entered a new, deeply divided phase. In the years that followed, tensions continued through indirect means as both countries struggled for influence in the Middle East. The US supported its allies, while Iran supported its own groups across the region, creating what is called a proxy conflict. Another major factor was Iran's nuclear program. Iran claimed it was for energy, but the US and its allies feared weapons development. This led to economic sanctions. However, in 2015, an agreement was reached to limit nuclear activities in exchange for relief. But in 2018, the United States withdrew from the agreement. This decision increased tensions and deepened the mistrust. In recent years, the situation became more serious. In 2020, a high-ranking Iranian military leader was killed in a US strike. Despite these events, a full-scale war has not taken place. Instead, the conflict continues through pressure and regional rivalry. This conflict is about trust that was broken many years ago and never fully repaired. History continues to affect the present. The world continues to watch closely, knowing that any small event could increase the conflict between these two nations. In the end, this history matters. It shows how actions taken decades ago can create long-lasting consequences for the future.